you all? This is we are here at this timely Waffle House establishment, and today we have just made top 8 at the Houston Bushy Road Spring Fest 2024. Yes, right here. So I was on C Day, so I will be doing the first deck profile, and I was running Standby Bar Schmilty Schmear Strive. First up, we have our 4 Milia runners, 4k on your turn, 2k on your opponent's turn. At the start of the attack phase, if something is facing this, you can move it anywhere in the front row. This is Guilty Gear's best plussing 0, which is kind of a bit sad, but I do really enjoy the Avoider profile, especially at 2k, because it's going to clear a lot of utility cards while being able to get away from their big beaters. One of our level 0s we have is our Brainstormer, Ramethal Brigader of Illyria. She is a self-salvage Brainstormer for any character trait, and when you play Climax, you can memory her or the level 1 Familiar and give something 1k. So this is just one of our ways to pump things when we replace Climax, because one of our Climaxes doesn't pump power. Ooh, wait. We run 1 Milia Impending Doom. On play, she's a clock filter, but a good kind of clock filter. You can put a card from your hand into clock to exchange for a card from your clock into hand. So this can and also grab any card, so like climaxes or events stuck it down in there, and also just grab stuff that you may need or may want to fix for your colors. She can also sack herself, discard a card to grab any character from your grave. This is a very good filter tool, and we have a lot of 1-ofs to facilitate the easy accessibility of whatever we want. We run 3 Jacqueline Aria Between Existences. This is one of the premier level 0s of Guilty Gear as a set. It is an on-play and on-reverse. Pay 1, ditch 1, search your deck for a character. And then, when it becomes reversed in battle, if you have 2 or less memory or a meter, because that's the flavor of the set, you can send her to memory for free. And one more thing about this, because the on-reverse effect for the drop search and the send to memory part are on 2 separate timings. If they have a hard remove thing like a Hakaru and Slime, you can still get the drop search effect, but not the memory effect. We have 1 Bike and Samurai Slasher. On plan, on death, clock yourself from hand, top check 3, grab any card. Helps us stay into climaxes and go through our level, so we can start playing our level 2s early. We have 1 Soul Prototype Gear. Assist whenever you trigger or assist all your characters in front of you get hexproof. It's a very good tech card. You probably want to run at least one of this in every Guilty Gear deck, and it's just a good way to stop it from your opponent to target your finishers. Another thing that doesn't really come up as often in this deck, because you don't run any soul triggers, is whenever your character trigger checks the soul, you can get something 15k. Or 1500. We have 3 Kai Blood of Junos. This is kind of like our secondary plussing 0 if we're lucky enough. During our opponent's turn, it's a 3k level 1 if they have 3 or less characters on their field. Once they have 4 or more, it becomes back to a 1/5. So unless your opponent wants to overextend, this might be a tough body to get over. And it has on death, pitch 1, top strike 4, grab any level 1 or higher card. Helps us mill through our deck because our level 1 combo does not have any deck speed. And so if we need to get through the deck, all we're really doing is brainstorming and playing on top of our Kai Blood of Junos. That's also one of our very few blue fixes for like the level 1 or higher blue card that we run. So if we ever see it in level, we kind of want to prioritize, in clock, we want to prioritize getting it into level. We have 2 Happy Chaos Unpredictable Menace. At the start of your opponent's attack phase, you can pay 1, run it to the back row. So it's a good way to clear up slots for, let's say, your Milia, to have more slots to move through to get a +2 essentially for 1 stop. And also has the effect, when you play a climax, you can bounce it to hand, you give something 2k during your turn. A bad thing about these pay 1 runs to the back profiles is they kind of just sit there on the board after level 0, but since this helps you pump power throughout the rest of the game, this scales really well later on in the game. Moving on to level 1s, we have the Ramethal's Familiar, Lucifero. At the beginning of your climax phase, if there was a beginning of your attack phase, if there was a climax in your climax area, this gains 3k, this becomes a 6k in a soul. And then climax combo, if Overdrive Calvados is in your climax area, you're level 3 or higher. Not level 3, if you have the Ramethal level 3, this gains an additional 6k, and the following ability, pay 2 ditch 1, on attack, burn 3. So essentially, throughout the mid game, you'll like have these in your level 1 combo, you can swing for 1, 2, 2, and then later on in the game, at level 2 or 3, you'll have these out with your level 3 Ram, and they'll swing for 3, 3, go 3, 3, 3, 3. Now we do run this as a green card, but the issue is we do have a lot of cards in green that we don't want to keep in clock or level, that we want to keep in our deck cycle. This is one of those cards that is very important for our late game pieces. We have 3 Giovanna Special Operates unit. Memory during your turn. If you have any card in memory, she gains 3k power, so she becomes a 3/5. And if you have 2 more cards in memory, she becomes a 7k. 4k on your turn. She gains +5 cross turn. And she has the following ability: on attack, reveal top card of your deck, level 1 or higher, send it to stock. This is a great way to help us generate stock because we have a lot of things that we kind of want to pay stock for. So helping us generate extra stock to do effects for is always nice. And it also helps us go through our deck to start triggering standbys at level 1. Moving on to our level 1 combo is Jacko Forever Elysium Driver. Combos with the standby that we run as a 4 of Overdrive Forever Elysium Driver. If you don't have another Guilty Gear character, she can't stand up. Negligible downside. And on attack, hey, you can discard any card, sacrifice the climax, and search your deck for 2 characters. Because we have a lot of selectivity with this, we can grab pretty much any of our 1-ofs with relative ease, or 1-ofs that grab our other 1-ofs, like the Amelia. Another thing is that we can only play 1 of her at a time, essentially, because she stacks her own climax for cost. So we only really need to play 3 and not have to commit 4 slots to the deck for it. Another strategy we can use is to, if we have these 2 on the field, search out level 0s with her, and swing with her second, swing with Giovanna second, try and hit into level 1 or higher cards. One of our level 1s is our Viking and Delilah Together Forever Climax Swapper. It is a 6k if all your characters are Guilty Gear, so just pray you're not running into any trait deletion decks. And then on play, pay 1 ditch to climax, grab climax from grave. Very basic. It is mostly here for red fix because we don't really have a lot, and it's just a solid body to play. Another thing we have as a tech card is our Eno Megalomania. When she attacks, she gains +X power, where X is the number of other Guilty Gears that you control. She will become a 6/5 on attack with the full field. And as an active ability, you can pay 4, send a card from memory to grave, and discard a card to balance your opponent's front row. I did not use this effect at all throughout all 7 matches we had today. However, if I were to play against something like Overlord that game, I probably would have used this. You have 1, May Spunky Girl. It's a 2/1 anti-change, pay 2. You can anti-change it by having 4 more characters in your front row or on your field. Send straight to waiting room. Not a lot of people respect the anti-change in Guilty Gear because not many people play it. It did win me a game because one of my opponents forgot that how my backup worked. So glad that I took this in when no one else did. What we have is our Giovanna Ventania. If you have 2 more characters in memory, she gains 6,000 power, so she'll be an 11/5. And she is an on-play, pay 1, ditch 1, Fumio for 1. So just shove some cards back into your opponent's deck. It is Guilty Gear's only decompression tool, so you kind of begrudgingly run this by itself. For other level 2s, we have our main standby target at level 1, the Viking Avenging Swordswoman. Now she has as long as your characters are Guilty Gear, she has a 9/5 with Hand Encore. The climax combo we don't care about, but she also has a really cool second ability where you can send her to the bottom of the deck to pump something 2k. So again, this helps us a lot with our selectivity, and as we move on to late game where these become less impactful, we can put them on the bottom of our deck and get any other card we want in hand from grave. We have 2 Axle Time Manipulators. This card did a lot better than I thought it would be. On attack, it gains 1,500 for each of your other Guilty Gear characters, so it'll become a 12/5 by itself. and with a full field, and then he has the effect to burn a meter, discard any card, and gains 2/5 power and on reverse stop deck. This actually came up quite often as a traditional way to discard climaxes and hard remove things from my opponent's board to help stick damage easier in my other lanes. We have 2 Testament Beautiful Gears. On play, salvage one, and if you did, so you can choose a card in your hand and send it to grave. And they have the effect to pay 2, ditch 2, burn a meter, to burn 1 twice. I did win a game off of this, and for games when my opponent was playing a level 0 on play freeze thing, I stood by this out in my back row, so I would have a way to accrue value throughout the game without just having them stun my 2/2s and then just leave them to die. Moving on to level 3s, we have our finisher, Ramifal Valentine. She has the effect, on attack, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a Guilty Gear character or event, you deal 1 damage to your opponent. A lot of people forget about this option, or about this spec on the card, so you'll definitely catch some people by surprise. And our climax combo is you can put a Guilty Gear character from your memory to grave, and if you do, you can summon 2 Ramifal Familiars onto the field with separate slots. So it's essentially free +2 on the attack when you play the climax, and then she gains 3k. So when you go to combat, before any other buffs, we have a 14k and 2 13ks. Now if you have the Happy Chaoses or the Ramifal Brainstormer, you can do additional buffs, and you're going to get over most boards starting at level 2, because your game plan is to stand by, Biking at level 1, Ram at level 2, kind of like try and stay at level 2, and then just start looping combo from then on out. And she combos with the Overdrive Calvados bar. So this is a standby bar deck. And and we only run 3 of her is because we can only ever have 1 out on the field because of her effect. I went 6-1 with this deck. It is a very good deck, if I were to say so myself, or I'm just a very good player, and I'm not sure which to believe. So, yeah, I had a great time at Springfest, and I got some Waffle House after.